State
我
capital.
们去亚特兰大的那个也是经典。
So this is a new capital in Illinois. It's a state capital. Springfield, Illinois. We're inside of the capital. Wow. Look at the capital now. This is the left side. You can see, wow. Wow.
Got everybody down? All right. All right, President. Now, on that bench between the two flags, that's reserved for the Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House is Emmanuel Chris Welch. Lower podium, that is reserved for his clerical staff. The long juror-like looking boxes, that's reserved for the press and the pages. Where you are seated, this is known as the gallery. This is where the public witnesses the session. Now, when they're in session, which is January through May, they come back in the fall for a veto session. They were here at noon. Now they have adjourned and they're in their different committee meetings. So when they're in session, it's proper military protocol. So at that time, there is no talking, no food, no drinks in the house, no hats in the house. Proper military protocol. And you would sit down first come, first serve. So now, voting here in Illinois is done electronically. Looking down there on the top upper right-hand corner of each desk, you will see a voting box. There is a red button on that voting box that registers their vote no, green yes, yellow calls them present, white turns on their microphone, and the blue button will call a page to their desk. Now that's tied to those roster boards that you see on either side of the chamber. You'll notice legislators' names up there in alphabetical order. So whatever color button they press, that dot appears next to their name. You as a gallery member will be able to see how any legislator has registered their vote. Now they're all going to have laptop computers on their desks, so they should understand the entire language of any bill before they actually register their vote. Now, looking down there on the floor, you're going to notice those small wooden chairs. Those particular desks, they are unoccupied seats. When they did the renovations in 2006 to this chamber room, they took that opportunity to put in extra desks. So if we get a population growth, we should need to add more representatives. Desks are already in place. Now, something else you may notice, if you notice, there's just a few telephones on the desk. Telephones are actually reserved for leadership. So if they have their phone on the desk, they're of a leadership position in the different parties. Now, let's talk about the chamber room itself, starting with the ceiling. Looking up at the ceiling, that is hand-molded plaster. It's finished in a bronze or a gold leafing. In the very center, that's what's known as a ley light. That has over 8,000 pieces of stained glass with 29 different colors. These chandeliers that you see, those are European crystals. Those were once gas jet lights called gasoliers. They have been electrified. Now those chandeliers, those are 17 and a half feet long. They weigh 750 pounds. And with the renovations, they did put an electric winch system up in the attic. So they will press a button to get these chandeliers lowered for an annual desk level cleaning. Previous to that, someone had to crawl into the attic and hand crank these chandeliers down for their annual cleaning. Now the wood that you see around here, it is a mahogany or walnut burl. Carpeting, that came from England, where they still have looms in use from 150 years ago, like when the building was brand new. And at that time, they made carpeting in 27-inch strips. Most of this is hand sewn together. Now, one fun fact about this particular chamber room, this was turned into a movie set. Reese Witherspoon came here and she filmed for the movie Legally Blonde 2 because this chamber room looks so much like the U.S. Capitol. Now, some facts about this building and the history of capitals here in Illinois. This is actually Illinois' 6th Capitol building. The first one was in Kaskaskia on the Mississippi, south of St. Louis. They were after the waterways. Then they came inland to Vandalia, and there was 3 state capitals. Then, thanks to Abraham Lincoln and the group The Long Nine, they got it more geographically centered here in Springfield. The old state capitol, that's about 5 blocks away. That's where Lincoln served. This particular capitol, the 6th capitol, this is where President Barack Obama once served as an Illinois state senator. Now, they broke ground for this particular building just after the Civil War. 1868 is when they broke ground, and it took architects 20 years to build. It was a cost of $4.3 million, but after completion, $6.35 was returned back to the Treasurer's office. Now, besides these legislative duties that I'm showing you now, this is one big office building. So senators and representatives will have offices here in the Capitol building. Now, a lot of them did have to get moved out because of these renovations going on the north side. And they're in another office building, the Stratton building, which is a building just west of us. Now, there's a series of underground walking tunnels so they don't have to go outside during inclement weather. Now, the senators, like I said, we can't show you the Senate chambers because they are under renovation. But there is 59 senators that serve here in Illinois. And they're going to be in the Michael J. Howlett building for the next 3 to 3.5 years. All right, best views of the dome is downstairs. Looking up at the center of the dome, that is a facsimile of our Illinois state seal. And our Illinois state seal is a bald eagle, banner in its beak that reads state sovereignty, national union. Looks like this, older version. Now that has over 9,000 pieces of stained glass with 42 different colors. Now, one of Illinois' bragging rights, from the top of the flagpole to the ground floor is 405 feet, which makes Illinois the tallest domed capital in the nation. We're actually 74 feet taller than the U.S. Capitol. Now, from there we talk about that bob relief frieze underneath those pillars. Those are plaster panels. They're depictions of early Illinois history. We start almost above my head with the Native American pioneer days, right over here. And then we go to the Black Hawk War. That's where Lincoln served. Then almost above my head once again is the Lincoln-Douglas debate. Now from there we talk about those statues that you see. Those are all 10-foot tall statues. They're men from early Illinois history. There's 4 Civil War generals alone up there. The first governor of Illinois was Shadrach Bond. Shadrach Bond was Illinois' first governor in 1818. Now directly opposite of him, Ulysses S. Grant, almost above your head. Ulysses S. Grant was the 18th president. He was actually born in Ohio, but he had a home and love here in Galena, Illinois. Now from there we talk about the artwork in these large alcoves. So over here, those were put up when Illinois was celebrating being in the Union for 100 years. So you're talking 1918. And it depicts what Illinois is known for. Illinois is known for its commerce, or its shipping, its trains. Right over here, Illinois is known for its agriculture. Illinois is also known for its industry. Now those paintings, they were painted on canvas, then they were applied to the wall. Unlike the great mural that I would like to show you over this way, this mural was painted directly onto the wall. Come on. The man in the military blue coat, that is Colonel George Rogers Clark. He enacted peace treaties with the Native Americans at Fort Gage in 1778. Now Fort Gage was once a British fort on the Mississippi, south of St. Louis. So these are actually the Virginia soldiers coming in for one of the first times to come in and visit the Illinois area. Now this was actually put on the wall, directly onto the wall in 1885, just before this Capitol building officially opened. It was put on there by Gustav Fuchs. Gustav Fuchs had to build special ladders and scaffolding because of the height and the width of this painting. This is 40 feet tall, 20 feet wide. It took him 1 year to complete. He was paid $2,000. Today, this is considered priceless. Poor man. He was known as Honest Abe, the 16th president of the United States. Now, he lived here for 25 years. Now, he's looking over his political rival, who was at the time. That was Stephen Douglas. Stephen Douglas was known as the Little Giant, but he was only a 5'4" man, a whole foot shorter than Lincoln.